Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and probably mostly gentlemen.
Well, that's kind of sexist, but all right, let's roll with it.
We don't have so many women in the drift scene, but anyway. Welcome to our first Clash Kick Motorsports podcast with Dennis Kuhler. Did I say it right?
Not this time.
Oh, fuck. Kuhler.
Fuck it, just run with it.
Do
it's
it yourself.
Kurla. It's Kurla.
Kuhler. Yeah,
Kuhler.
sounds cooler.
Just say it like the Czech Republic. Kolar.
Cool.
Dennis Kolar.
I cannot decide which is, or it's like Coca-Cola or it's like a cooler. Which one both sounds better, I don't know.
It's whatever works. Just as long as the first part is kind of right, it's right for me. So
and I'm Vitaly Gezo, by the way. Whoever doesn't know, you can
Vitaly, Dennis, Vitaly.
Yes.
Nice to meet all of you.
First time ever.
Welcome. This is the first time we are ever recording a podcast, which is actually a lie. This is the second time. The first one didn't work out quite as well.
Well, first time, first try.
Technical difficulties because
yeah.
So what you're hearing right now is like us winging it for the second time, and I believe
hopefully everything is recording.
Hopefully everything is recording this time around, and I'm still hearing myself so much in my own ears. It's crazy.
Okay,
but,
stop telling people how much you love your voice. And
dude, my own voice doesn't sound that nice.
But in this mic it does.
In this mic it sounds
even
amazing.
For 31 years, I can first time say that I like my voice.
Yeah, this is exactly the thing. I've never liked my voice, but I sound incredible through this one.
Okay, we sound a bit weird. Like
No, it's just a sign that we are still. This is the first time we're doing this podcast,
yes.
so we're just loving it right now.
Yeah, I'm already into it. So let's speak today about drifting in general, about sponsorships, about events, and for the first episode.
Yes.
For the second one, I'm going to speak about you and how you got into drifting and how I got into drifting. Well, I haven't yet, almost, but anyway.
You are involved in drifting already, just not in the way that I am.
Not
for
behind
example.
the wheel, yeah.
I'm the driver, more type of person, and you are the background person, which is sometimes even more important than a proper driver, because you can promote promote a shitty ass driver to be a fucking superstar, but if you're a very good driver and you don't have anyone doing proper promotion for you, it's worth nothing. That's
the sexiest words I have ever seen, been told to myself. But
probably because my voice sounds fucking incredible through this microphone.
Also true.
Which is a good way to jump into the first topic. Sponsorships. I think it's kind of mean to say we've spoken about this before, because this is the first
times, to be honest, with a lot of people.
I mean, it's a topic I talk about a lot.
Yeah.
And you can repeat it every time. So, like this belief that to get sponsorship or to get good and big in drifting, you just have to be the best driver, which unfortunately, in my experience, isn't the case. So, for sponsorships and partnerships, you need to have a proper social media presence and create content for people to watch. Because back in the days, I believe like NASCAR or any sort of motorsport, you just had to be know the right people and be a really good driver. But in today's time, it's if you're a proper YouTuber that's doing very good content, you can become a very pro-sponsored driver. Like the best example is Adam LZ, who
he did the vice versa thing. He firstly did the YouTube stuff and building up his audience, and then he drove.
Yeah, I mean, at first he was a BMX driver. He did BMX. I think he was pro as well for BMX, but he just kept doing content, and from then on he just got into drifting and kept taking his audience with it. And I believe this is also one of the biggest factors on how to get proper sponsorship, is just to have an audience that follows you. Because sponsorship is just, if a company gives you a certain amount of money, for example, they kind of expect at least the double in return for it. So if you have an audience and tell them this product is a good product, I use it, and they see that it's working and they buy that as well, they get their investment back like this double. So from my understanding, this is like the most simple way of a sponsorship or a partnership with a product. Which is also, you know, there's also the possibility of just creating a brand and being like the poster child for your own brand, and just having your own product that you're selling just by using it, which is clothing, parts, whatever you want to do, which is another example. Again, Adam LZ with his MFG apparel. LZMFG apparel, who's just, you know, wearing his own clothing and putting out new products and just... I gotta be honest though, I'm a big Adam LZ fan.
Really?
I watch all his videos. It's like...
Why don't you shave?
The mustache?
Yeah,
is it the mustache?
The mustache.
No, it's the lack of chin, you know. But you know, I know friends from Germany that are wearing his clothing, so they spent the money to get the stuff imported to Germany because they just like him as a person, and in return they like the stuff that he produces. I mean, the stuff he produces is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just gotta say that.
Well, I mean, I think that mostly what brands are looking for is just your opinion and your voice has to matter in the audience, and
that's very well put.
Because if you're famous but you're an asshole or something, I don't think that's the face, that's the character that a brand needs or wants. So that you have to influence in a good way probably to the people. That's why they will follow you up, they will buy your product, the products you use. So that's why you get deals.
That is very well put, actually. That's a lot more well put than I said it. But yeah, I mean, this is just the way to make money somewhere where there's no money to be made from traditional just being good.
Yeah, I mean, there is the other way, but it's a really, really, really small circle where you get hired to drive for teams or
which is
brands,
like almost impossible.
Yeah,
but to get to that point, you have to know the right people and just have certain influence. Or be at the right time at the right place. Yeah. Which I always say, like, success sometimes is just pure luck.
Yes, I mean, even in photography and videography in our times, you know, it's really like, at least this is like my part of the drifting and motorsports thing mostly. Again, to get a job for like any big brand or car manufacturer, you just have to be at the right time, at the right place, meet the right people.
Yes.
Because if you see it, there are like anyone with a phone, anyone with $100 can get a camera or something, and they can make cool pictures if they have a little bit of taste and a little bit of understanding what's visible and what's nice color grading with, especially now the technology and the filters. It's really, really easy. Most of the time you can see all over the Instagram stuff like this.
Yeah.
But the one who will get a job for BMW, let's say, or for Motul, or for, I mean, I have a friend, he works for Motul and he's a really cool photographer, but again, he's like, I was in the correct place at the right time. I spoke nicely and I was, you know, really grateful, and he's a really cool person. Hi, Fred. I mean, and the guy is now like one of my best influence, motivational, because he's like everywhere. Like he works with other brands also, and doors keep opening.
Yeah.
He done photography for 10 years or something, but still he was at the right place at the right time.
Yes.
So it works for a lot of stuff probably too, and especially motorsports.
Yeah. That's how I got like all the big stuff that I've done, like video shootings with for rap videos and everything. That was just there was no like I put an application somewhere or something. I just knew the right person, and he asked me, do you want to do this? Do you have time around that time frame? Is your car working? Said yes to everything. Made time. I
also heard a story about you drove for a commercial of an AMG or something.
For some? What?
AMG?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did driving for AMG. Yeah,
It drifted.
I drifted the AMG GTC, which was, let's put it lightly, a challenge. Quite a challenge because, as it turns out, from 2017 on, they have active rear steering, which freaks the fuck out if you go sideways, and that's not easy to drive. That is not easy to drive. But again, that was just another thing of, yeah, I knew the right person, and he asked me, and he said he felt confident driving with me because he was driving the camera car, and I was driving the car that was being drifted, and he said he feels confident and safe when I'm driving it, so why not give it a shot? And then we just did it. I mean, there was, again, no application. It was just, yo, you got time for this? Yes, I do, and let's go. And that's how most of the things just happen, it's just knowing the right people. Well, you know, there's also the thing of meeting new people because you are kind of the person people want to have in your content. I'm just trying to make a transition over to the one thing we spoke about it before. I'll just jump right into it. Especially in sponsorships, where there was a video from Lone Star Drift from Aaron Loosely, I think it's his last name. Cannot recall for the life of it because this is the first episode, no one's gonna hear it ever. And he did an interview with Zach from EQ Master USA, and they did a video which is, I believe, now deleted again, where he spoke about how to get sponsorships in motorsport, where Zach said that if you don't have a YouTube channel, they're not gonna sponsor you because they just want to see you create content with the product they are promoting. And he also said, even if it's a shitty ass video and you get like 1,000 views or 100 views on it, which isn't not uncommon if you look at very, very big brands that are putting out content, well produced content, but it just gets absolutely no views, and you're thinking like, why did you even create that? It's sometimes this content is not made for other people to watch it. It's just made for higher ups and corporations to see that there is content being made, and they can just have a quick recap of anything you've done in just a video form, because you don't have to think about it, you don't have to read it and scroll through it. You just click on a video and just watch it. Maybe don't even watch it really, just watch it with one eye.
Yeah, of course. I mean, these days it's really hard to separate, because you can see like high budget, like 70,000 euros budget short films made by big brands, and they get like 500,000 views, and then you see like a random vlogger which is talking about his car and his garage, and he's get like 1 million views, and you're like, how?
So it doesn't always correlate. Like, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get views. It's just important that you do good story
and a character,
relatable.
Yeah,
it has to be relatable. And the biggest thing, keep making content, don't stop, which is Rob Dahm, which he said in his last video where he was at Grid Life, where he met a guy that told him to keep creating content even if he didn't want to. And if
was that Casey Neistat? But nothing to do with it. You know Casey Neistat?
Yeah.
He once said that, like, just keep recording.
Yeah, just keep making video. It doesn't matter if the quality is like not high top, as long as you create content and just keep the story going, it's all right. Because Rob Dahm said that he was afraid to make videos that are like half an hour long, and his friend just kept telling like, no, just put it out.
Someone will see
upload it. Someone's gonna see it, and people will want to see it. And now he's making videos that are like an hour long, and I watched them. Other people watched them. There's another channel called Vice Grip Garage, which is an incredibly funny channel. He just buys shitty ass muscle cars off Facebook Marketplace. They're like haven't run in 20 years. He just goes there with like minimal tools, and he just tries ghetto fixing them up and then driving him like 800 miles back home, like on brakes that are not working and engines barely holding together, just like the most absurd shit. Those videos are over 2 hours long, and I love them. I love watching those videos. So just it doesn't matter if the content is, and just to preface this, his videos are made by him himself. So there's no production crew. There's no one filming for him. He just puts them on a tripod and just talks and shows it with his camera sometimes what he's seeing, and just works on the car. And there's no big effects, no big production behind it. It's just incredibly fun to watch because someone's just doing what he likes doing, and he has a certain passion for it, and it's some charisma with it. The guy's funny. The guy's relatable. It's like, if he has a bad day, he's like, oh, I don't want to do this. I'm already tired. Oh, this sucks. I don't want to wrench on this car. And it just keeps going. And then you're like, well, this feels like whenever you're doing something on your project car, you're like completely exhausted. You don't want to do it, but you just keep going. So
this is the character. I mean, this is how in the movies you don't see all of the movie, like all of the characters are like in a happy phase. There are also downs and ups, and you live it with the character.
Yes, you go through it with him. So it's like you build up a connection, and then everything's just much more interesting than, like you said, everything's working out great and everyone's happy. Unlimited money is like, where's the challenge? And there's no challenge. There's no struggle in it. And I think people enjoy struggle.
Yeah, drama
and
difficulties of other people.
Just to make yourself feel better. But I mean, there is one video another creator made when I was driving at the Nürburgring Drift Cup. His channel is called Antomoto, who it's painful to say, but he just got very he wasn't happy with the content he made. He wasn't happy with the quality that it was. And the quality was insane. I'm telling you, it was like the greatest videos in European or German drifting we've had came from this guy, and he was unhappy with the quality, which is another reason of just keep making content, goddammit. Even if you don't like it, someone's gonna love it. I love it. And there's a video of me of the Nürburgring Drift Cup where absolutely everything went wrong on my car. Like my subframe broke, the differential shifted up, the drive shaft smashed into my fuel cell, and then it felt like the weekend was over because I was leaking. I lost 60 liters of fuel on that weekend just from my fuel tank just spewing everything back out again. And we dropped the rear subframe. We brought it over to Florian de Bode from the Netherlands. He welded up some bracing, and we glued up this fuel tank. And
sounds like an adventure.
It was hell, but I love showing that video because it shows struggle. Yeah. It was like emotional. It was 1.5 days for wrenching in the cold ass mud at the Nürburgring. I hated it. Like I wanted to load up the car 3 times, and every time someone said, "Oh no, you're gonna fix this car now," and we ghetto rigged the shit out of that car just to get it running again. But that's a video and a story that's I like to tell because it's drama. Yeah. It's incredible.
That's why people like reality shows. There's shows on TVs.
Yeah, no one likes watching something where everything went great and everything went wrong at that weekend. But holy hell, that guy made an incredible video about it. He filmed shots. I didn't even know he was there. It's like I like drift videos, cool cars going by. But I'm slowly getting really tired of watching them because it's always a car
there's
going
no story.
And it's something I'm missing from some photographers that are like taking a lot of pictures of tracks. Like, yeah, sure, I want to see my own car drive, but I want to see what's going on in the paddock as well. I like to see like mechanics working or something went absolutely wrong and they're trying to fix their car. This is like the people behind all of it, because it's not just the driver. Shanahan's did it well. Yeah. If you think of the Shanahans, Jack and Connor, but also his dad, and his dad isn't a driver.
But he's
just an insane mechanic that fixes everything in the most crazy way possible. But that's interesting. Everyone loves seeing that, like emotions. There was an Instagram story, I think from Connor, where it was from, I don't know who made that Instagram post. It was just in a story, so of course it's gone now.
Yeah.
But it was of Connor winning his first Drift Masters round at like, I think in some Poland block, I believe, in the stadium where he won the battle, and Jack and his dad were at the podium watching everything, and when they heard that he won, they just began screaming and running, and just like there were a lot of people at that podium, and they just ran through everyone and just almost smashed a window just to get through a door. It was like so emotionally packed. It was such a fucking great
they're
story.
quite emotional family.
That was crazy to watch. That was just fun too. I loved watching that story over and over again because it was like there was so much heart in it. You can see people have a heart in it.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's people that are like, let's start drifting. 2 years later, drifting sucks because it's hard and it's expensive.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't know. I've been like into drifting since I was like 16, I think, but I started with RC drifting because I was looking for a new kind of discipline, a new sport, and then I saw some videos of some guys in Japan drifting, and then they also drifted RC cars, and I was like, fuck, okay, I don't have a car, but what should I do? I can buy an RC car. So I was doing competitions, doing my own competitions, and I was doing competitions even in Latvia and Estonia, and after in Greece. And yeah, then my friend bought an S13, and he started building it, and I started this clutch kick thing, and it was supposed to be an online magazine where we were like, I think 10 or 12 photographers from all over the world, and we were gathering. The idea was having news from events from the whole of the world, but you could find them in one website.
Oh, that sounds
like Speed
incredible.
Hunters, but only drifting.
Yeah,
and with results and everything.
My instant connection in my brain was just like Speed Hunters, because that's what Speed Hunters was always about. But Speed Hunters kind of, does anyone still read Speed Hunters? It used to be on my check every day list.
Yeah,
like every other blog, just check out what's Risky Devil doing and what's Revgasm doing, what's Speed Hunters writing about, and now all the like blogs.
I think it's just the media switched to hearing and looking.
Yeah,
because there is no time to sit and read, to be honest, I think, for a lot of people.
Which is also something I quite enjoy about Formula D and the Drift Masters and IDC and BDC. The commentators are doing such a great job commentating everything. You don't have to watch it. You can just put it on the live stream. You just listen what he's saying, and you hear the excitement, you feel the excitement, you know what each driver is doing. If there's a risky move and he's pushing the car through the track or missing clipping points, hitting clipping points, they will tell you everything. And you don't even have to watch it, which is, I like it. And I'm also noticing it that when I'm watching videos from like other YouTube channels, where they're like fabricating stuff or something, you don't even have to watch it actually. Yeah. You just have to hear it. And I think that's the fastest way to get some content going, which is gonna grab people and grab their attention, because you just have to keep them. There has to be something spoken or some noise going. Yeah. Silence is gonna kill everything. And which is, I'm doing commentating for Drift.de from time to time on Twitch, and I always try to keep something going all the time. So there's no silence, and when the run is over, speak about the run, have some recaps, thoughts about it, just random topics, and when they're driving, just commentate everything that I'm seeing. So there's no silence on a live stream. So everyone can turn on the live stream and just throw their phone right against the corner. As long as there's still sound coming out of it, you know what's going on. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, the level of the commentators in all of the world events, I mean, Japan was always like, you could hear that was always like,
no one understood what they're saying,
but it was so excitement. Yeah,
you just knew that something crazy must have been going on when someone started screaming in Japanese, and you're like, I don't know what he's saying, but it sounds awesome.
I'm in it for it.
Yeah, let's just put it in every video we're watching now.
Yeah, and now it's pretty awesome that the Europeans and Americans also are really, really almost the same level with the excitement going on, and it's even more fun to watch.
Yes.
The live streams even and stuff, because sometimes it was boring before when they had like big pauses and no one's talking and nothing is happening. The live stream is just like
you're watching a screen that you're not sure if the live stream is still going or if it froze up.
yeah.
It's like, am I even watching a live stream right now, or am I just looking at a screen? Which is kind of a shame sometimes, but it's gotten a lot better. But at the same time, you know, in Europe, it's always the same guy.
Yeah.
Drift Masters, IDC, BDC, and the Oman Drift Championship, it's all the same guy.
Yeah, I think his passion for drifting is huge.
Humongous.
Speaking about competitions, a conversation we have started last time about what do you think about the pro spec thing that Formula Drift made with limiting, I think, tires and some modifications part, so they could easy more the levels of drifting, and it's not about money.
Well, I believe that, I mean, there was some controversy about like not being allowed to run a pedal box and modified steering column, which, I mean, if they thought about saving people's money this way, the concept was there, but for some people it just made them more work, and to save costs or keep the cars at a lower spec, I believe that the pro spec cars right now are just at the same level as any other pro car right now. You could just slap different tires on there and the cars would be exactly the same level. There's like not even a big power difference in most of the pro spec to the pro cars. They're just limited by tires and some small modifications, which I believe do not make a single change in the speed or price of a car that you're running. I mean, what's a pedal box gonna change on the pricing of a car?
Yeah,
there's nothing. You're saving $300, great. You can spend that on 2 tires. There's no cost saving. So, I mean, it's a good way to have cars like spread apart in classes, to have like a lower spec or a higher spec, because still in the pro class some privateer would have to compete against a fully backed race team driver, and that's likely not going to work out. But there are other people like Jeff Jones in Formula D, who is still, I think, more like privateer than any other driver at the pro level right now, because I mean, there were some old-ass pictures of Jeff Jones towing his car to Formula D events with a shitty-ass pickup and an open trailer. So where's the pro part in that?
Yeah.
But he still ripped it in pro. And when the car had some reliability issues and it got fixed out, I mean, the guy can drive and the car is working great, but he's still doing it on a shoestring budget compared to, you know, Chelsea and Adam LZ competing with the RTR Mustangs, which is insane budget that they're blowing on that one. But the results are showing, and sure, the results from Adam are not showing the best right now, but it doesn't really matter because it's working great in the marketing department.
Yeah, I mean, Adam has the other department really the strongest of all from Formula Drift and the whole world in drifting. He has the biggest presence in.
I mean, the live stream. If you turn on the live stream at any Formula D live stream, it's just gonna be like
Adam.
Did Adam LZ run it?
Yeah.
Did LZ run
comments
yet?
are like blowing up.
Yeah, and there are like people reporting like when Adam LZ loses a battle, there's like 4,000 people turning off the live stream.
Drop.
Just instantly gone. So he has a big influence, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. having Cletus McFarland now in one of his old RTR competition cars as well. It's a big marketing thing that's working out perfectly, because he's getting all the good guys that are like fun and having fun with it and are good drivers, and just throwing them the keys to an opportunity that is directly connected to Ford or RTR. So how do you get more views on your brand than this?
Literally how this the Fanhaver.
Fanhaver, yeah.
Fanhaver. Yeah. Speaking about also again this topic about the Valino style, the Valino tires gonna be used in Drift Masters now from now on.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, I was a bit disappointed to be honestly, because firstly you got a lot more grip as I heard from the Valino tires. Secondly, they're fucking expensive.
Yeah.
So,
which,
I mean, it feels like they're trying to make Drift Masters like Formula One.
Yeah, kind of.
But they don't understand that Formula One has a lot more exposure to the world and have a lot more media coverage and a lot more budget in audience-wise. I mean, the group of audience is a lot different from the group of audience that are watching drifting.
Yes, a lot more different.
Different budgets of each audience.
Yeah.
So, and the merchandise is different. I mean, how many people spend a year for merchandise from Formula One? Speaking from F1 games on mobiles, F1 games on simulators, from merch and everything. And where is the branding in drifting? There is no.
I mean, Formula One has a heritage that it's building upon. So if
years,
there's like heroes for people that are just Formula One drivers, or movies being made about Formula One drivers, because there's so much heritage and history and passion behind that it's more easier to get a big corporation going. I mean, at this point now, Formula One is a fully accepted motorsport. If you are a Formula One driver, you are a superstar as well.
Yeah.
You're getting paid. And the people will come to watch. And I think, isn't there a Formula One round in Miami now in the USA?
Yeah.
And have you heard about the ticket prices for those?
No.
They're like standing places are like $700 for one person for this one race. Like VIP spots are like 10-20 grand, and people pay because, like, if you're a superstar, like look, you're an influential person, you're like an actor or something, Formula One for you is interesting because that's the place where you meet other people that are also influential as well.
It's like a rich people hub.
It is a rich people hobby, yes. And drifting right now is there's a difference between either there's the guy that's doing it professionally and having a business and having the expenses to run the motorsport, like the drifting program that you are running, usually because you came for money, or you have a company that is already making money, so you can have drifting as a fun way to spend money. Or there's a driver that has little money compared to the other person, but he's spending every buck he has, but he will in return still always be behind the other guy that will have a lot of money. So, which is also something Matt Powers' dad said in a very, very old video, where he said that he came from motocross racing, and when he was driving and racing and competing against other kids, and he would beat the snot out of another kid, but his parents had money, he's just going to show up at the next race with a big ass expensive engine, and he's going to smoke him, and there's nothing he can do about it, because money will always win. But in drifting, there is still like a possible split, like one guy with a low budget but an incredible driver has the possibility to win against another guy that has a lot of money and a lot of money spent and budget.
I mean, if the horsepower gap is not big, because if you're
yeah, sure, but I mean, Max Heidrich, for example, he's working on a very tight budget, but he has everything he needs to be competing in Drift Masters, and he's running on like shoestring budget, like he's going for broke in every race. So there's still a possibility to go and win something, even if you have low budget. But well, with the Valino tires thing right now, and like you're saying, the expenses that the Valino tires are bringing, there is a possibility that it is pushing other drivers out
Away.
that are like running on a shoestring budget, like they have contracts or deals with other tire brands because it is fitting their budget. And if it now breaks out of their budget and the driver cannot compete anymore or drive as much as he needs to get the lines and the training in for each track that they're running, then they're just gonna lose out on a lot of talent and a lot of talented driver. And it's gonna be quite hard on the sport and the series as well, because the series and the sport is built on the drivers.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same question I had like a lot of years ago when I was involved with some like tuning magazines and I was making some content for them, and there were some magazines that, hey, if you want to feature a car, like write about a car, you have to like pay this. And I'm like, wait a second. I mean, you want to sell a magazine, okay? And inside this magazine, you're talking about cars. So if I bring you a car that's interesting to talk about and to discuss about, and I'm giving you 4 pages of cool content, which you haven't seen before or never, and which is one of the reasons why will someone buy this magazine?
Yeah.
And you're asking me money to put this thing inside. So this means if none of us who created these pictures and this article will send you content, you will have no content, and if you have no content, you will
have no magazine.
So what's the point of? I mean, I'm not advertising anything.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you content so you can put it in and then sell it. The same with drivers in any competition.
Yeah.
If you're making their life harder to compete, and they will not come to compete, you have no product. So
exactly.
What's the point?
Like women on Tinder that are the product, which is the truth.
Yeah.
That's why men pay a lot of money for Tinder Gold and everything, because men are not the thing that they want. They want women on the platform, so men spend money to be on the platform.
Yeah, true.
It's a fucked up way, but that's the way the world works right now. But this is kind of the same like with drifting. But I mean, it's a risky move, but possibly there is something that we don't see. Maybe drivers are getting deals that we are not aware of. And then if that works out all quite well, I mean, it's a great move if it doesn't kick out other drivers.
Yeah, I mean, I think we will see. We will be able to return to this topic in the next event and see who is following up and who is not, or maybe at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because there it will be visible if really drivers can handle the new payment thing they have to pay for the tires or not. Mm-hmm. Because I've heard it's quite tough, even for bigger guys, to
come up with the
200
money.
euros for a tire. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's...
You're like running 1000 horsepower car, and how many tires do you need for a race? I mean, the fuck.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, that's the hobby we've chosen.
Yeah, I mean...
it's like someone said it to me like many years ago, like, oh, it's unfair, he has a much better car than I have, so why should he win? Well, you've chosen your car.
Yeah.
You've chosen to have the engine that you have. You've chosen to have everything that you have in a car. So if you don't like it, change it. Then there comes the point with, well, I don't have the money that he has, then, well...
Wrong sport, boy.
Wrong sport. How do you make $1 million in motorsport?
By being a billionaire.
Yes. Start with 2 million and get $1 million out of it. You're always going to lose in motorsport, and it's how much did motorsport cost 30 years ago? The same as it did now. Yeah. Every cent you have.
Yeah, I mean, as
you will always go for broke.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, like a lot of drivers told me, like, because I started my career like last year when I got the E46, and I'm trying to somehow get behind the wheel instead of behind the camera. And some like told me that, you know what, if I could start from the beginning and take time back, I would first create a product, and then I would use my hobby, drifting, as a promotion platform to what I want to sell.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, and that's what brands do with us.
Yeah.
They use instead of hiring a marketing specialist or guys, they just use us as their contributor or not contributors.
Yeah. Starbucks.
Yeah.
The Starbucks cup. Everyone has to have a Starbucks cup in their hand, even if there's probably nothing in there. But that's...
The coffee sucks.
Starbucks is promoting themselves just by being a product you want to show off.
Yeah.
That's all there is.
Yeah, Starbucks is just the lifestyle and the idea of... I'll tell you one thing. I hate their coffee. I like... The only thing I like is like the specialties with the different flavored themed things they do.
Yeah.
But before, Starbucks was the only place where, at least to people who are really influenced about their surroundings, like I was preferring to go to Starbucks to sit down, have a coffee and draw there, because I like the atmosphere and the music and the calmliness that these places give you, because this is one of the strategies that they made it for students and for people who want to spend time, I don't know, writing
just be
or
there.
working.
And you connect the brand with something to be creative.
Yeah. I don't know how we got into this topic, but it's truly,
weird ass images. I mean, if I could go back in time, I would love to just... I have made some YouTube videos, but I always feel like there's not a whole lot to show anymore, but I do regret not filming like from the very beginning, like the humble beginnings where I was
document
everything, where I was towing with my BMW wagon and just sleeping in the car.
It's like Kanye West and everyone. Have you seen them? Kanye West and a few more hip hop artists are having their own series now on Netflix.
What?
Yes. It turns out that they were filming the whole fucking thing from zero the whole time. How Kanye became, how he went and got back down from Jay-Z and everything, how he went to the records and wanted a deal and they didn't give it to him. They record everything from the start. They always had the tapes, but they never released them. And now they have a Netflix series.
Are you serious?
Yes, I even watched it already. They have about Biggie Smalls, they have about Kanye West, they have 2 or 3 more.
That sounds incredible to watch.
Yes, and like so many years I've been a fan of the music and stuff and never nothing saw about, and now there's a series on Netflix.
What's it called?
Kanye West.
It's just called Kanye West on Netflix.
Yes.
Damn, I gotta watch that tonight. But yeah,
I mean, just document everything, try, and
the thing I did document, like the one part I missed most about not filming it is like the V8 swap on my Miata. I should have just filmed everything because there was so much stuff happening and was so much content you could have made, and ups and downs and many downs and some ups and
downs and
some downs more again.
Downs.
That would have been that would have been great content, and I did try to make as many pictures as possible, which ended up being like an 860 picture album from the start where I began with the build to what it is today now, but there is no video of it. And you, in the time of like blog posts, pictures would have been amazing. That would have been like the biggest, nicest blog ever. Just like follow through with everyone like, oh yeah, today I had a shitty ass day and I started working. Oh no, I need to do this more ASMR style. I had a shitty ass day today and I'm like welded up some subframe parts today. It was quite shitty and I had to redo everything again because I forgot that the steering went that way and
delete backwards.
Here's some pictures of it. I mean, that would have worked amazing a few years ago, but now if it's not on YouTube and it's not a video, no one's gonna watch it.
If you can show it, can believe it.
Sure.
Somehow like this.
True. But I mean, something I regret not filming a lot more, but I mean, I got more laid back with the years now. 12 years of building on the same car. And sometimes you don't want to film anything. We spoke about this last time.
Like
filming is still quite exhausting. Like Papadakis Racing, he said that if he's building something and he has to film it as well and make a video about it, it takes him 4 times as long, and that's a long time if you just want to get something done and just be over with it. And having to think about, I could do this in 1 day and then everything is done, or it takes you 4 days to film everything, set up everything, cut everything, and then release it, and then at the end you might hate the video you made and you just scrap it and just wasted 3 days doing something you were not proud of.
Yeah.
So it's quite hard, I think, on mentally as well to do a lot of.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. But I mean, the biggest problem I think for being a content creator, YouTuber, stuff like this, is the mental state what you are in everyday hustle, and you're just sometimes like we've been like we wanted to meet how many times and it wasn't working out. Like even from my side, like after work I was like, oh shit, I'm not like don't want to talk even to my wall, just like shut down and finish. I mean it's a hard thing to do, like filming yourself and pretending everything is like
everything is great, life is perfect,
I have no personal problems.
Pumped to do some work on the car today.
I mean, this is not a demotivation thing, it's a vice versa thing, but I think we both agree that you have to show both of your sides on your videos and content, and so make content no matter what. I have to probably say it to myself also, but we're all guilty of it. Each and every one of us is guilty of not doing content because we don't feel like it, and we should have made content exactly when we didn't feel like it, because people are in it for the journey as well. Like if they like the stuff you do, sometimes they want to go through with it just with you. Bromance.
Like, you feel like shit and everything's going wrong, and just be like, well, today everything is going shit and I'm feeling like shit, and people be like, well,
here's a time lapse and fuck off.
Because social media right now it's so much faking. Like your life is perfect, you're always having the best vacations, you're always having luck at everything, but in reality, like not everything is working out great. But you go on social media and everyone is having a great time and everything is working out perfectly for everyone. It just brings you down much further. So having realism in social media right now, I think, is quite attractive for a lot of people in the audience to just see that not everything is great, not everything is going to work out. But I always say, like, if something isn't working out, or you're having a fight with someone, it isn't important what happened or how it happened. Important is just how do you proceed from that? What did you learn? What did you learn? What are you going to do differently, or what experience do you take from it? Like, how do you react after that? If you're gonna have a fight with someone because you believe he did something wrong, but then it turns out you were actually wrong. Are you just gonna be like, oh well, fuck that guy, he's a smart ass? Or be like, or go up to him and be like, well, I was wrong, you were right, my reaction wasn't correct, I learned from it, and then you proceed with it, and then you go with, you make a much better picture of yourself, and be like, and everyone's thinking of you differently as well, unless compared to just being an ass and just not taking accountability for something that happened. So even if you break something, well, shit, now it's broken. Why you want to fight about it? Why you want to scream about something that's broken? Just concentrate on, how do we fix this now? How do we get the parts? How do we work together to make it great again? That's not a Trump promotion, by the way.
But I've saw this mentality when the Drift Brothers, Joe and Ellie and Tony and Kevin and all of them are on the track. The Sven, I remember the whole thing, and when something broke, how they reacted and how Ellie took everything under his hand, and guys, stay calm, pop, and they fucking fixed everything. Like technically wise, as a team wise, they're like, dude,
the mentality is great.
But
you have to always have someone that leads you to be like that. Because if you are like going fucking nuts and throwing things around, well,
won't work.
But if you're like, well, it broke, but let's see what we can do to fix it.
Yeah.
You can fix anything. Like the most, even if it's, so your drive shaft smashing in your gas tank and you're gluing your gas tank.
I know one guy.
Yeah, and then broke again, and then your gas tank is leaking again because it smashed into the gas tank again, and then you're like, okay, fuck this, and then some two dudes show up and be like, oh no, you're not loading up, we're gonna fix this now, and then you ended up taking washes and cutting up the sides so you can shim them under the subframe to twist it down to make the drive shaft go further down so it doesn't smash into the gas tank again, and then suddenly you're on the track competing again because that actually fixed the car.
Yeah.
Because that's how it went.
Yeah. Oh well, I think we're gonna finish for this episode then.
Yeah, it was
Already
quite
in
all
like
over
an
the
hour.
place.
I liked it. So we spoke about sponsorships, about
Content.
content creation and motivation, demotivation, and about our opinion about competitions.
Competitions,
But-
yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I think this is a good start with a general drift topic with it, and then we see how it goes and what topics to touch up with.
Yes.
Comment below if there's any specific comment and any specific
Topic you want to talk about?
comment below if you want us to speak about any specific topics about drifting, and we can even Skype call or do calls with any of your special friends, or we can interview someone, or yeah, I mean, this is a cool thing we're doing here. Probably could work out.
Yeah, it's quite fun. Get some people on here, some famous people. I know some guys.
I know some guys who know some guys, and their guys know other guys.
And he has a cousin, and I'm telling you.
And he was married to my sister's brother, and blah 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 blah.
And he has the
Oh my
fastest
God.
Camaro in all of Alabama.
Yeah, and he can get my ex's M3.
Sure.
Anyway, yeah. See you next time.
Goodbye. Like, I'm hearing myself a lot,
You just turn down this fucking thing.
but I like it.
You like to hearing yourself.
Yeah. Oh, no. Come on. Come back. Yeah, now here we are.
It's a bit weird because this mic also makes your voice a little bit more like radio.
Tonight at 7 p.m. Two fucks don't know what they're talking about are talking a whole lot. Tune in next week for another episode of What Are We Doing? This is goddamn ASMR.
I think it's the same question like people ask about drifting. Like, you're just breaking your car. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, we're just doing bullshit all day long.
It's like the worst thing you can do to your car, actually.
But yeah, now that I think about it, in Altstadt I did some weird ass shit just because it sounded nice. Like driving through the paddock, and my buddy was next to me on the pit bike, and I was like rolling in first gear and just smashed the throttle, and it just went instantly to 6,000. It sounded like a fucking V10. It was like whoop, and then just a small blip is whoop, like doing wheel spin everywhere, and I'm like, dude, just hop in the car. You don't need a helmet. Just listen to this bullshit. And it's like fucking ASMR in my brain.
You know, I could barely like. Maybe I should next time record you speaking, and I can fall asleep while you was like, you know.
I've spoken a lot of people into sleep before.
You should get paid for that.
It has happened before. Some women have told me I have a nice voice. Some.
That's why all your exes get asleep straight away into falling into sleep.
Yeah, I'm just like, hey honey, how was your day? And just hear them collapsing in the kitchen. Just fucking straight up, puff, gone. Are we already recording?
Yeah.
This is gonna be an outtake because I fucking love this part already.
So,
Do an intro and I'll jump in like last time.
hello and welcome to Joe Rogan podcast.
Joe Rogan, making it frogs fucking gay.
Yeah.